There, it's Debbie Anderson here today from Inner Liberation Healing. I'm here to help you on your healing journey from narcissistic abuse to heal and live in love consciousness. So, if you haven't already, please subscribe, like, and share on my channel. I would really appreciate that. It helps me out so much. So today I'm going to talk with you about how narcissists can suck your soul out of you. So being around anyone who sucks your soul out feels like a never-ending energy drain on you until you're exhausted. It also feels like everything around you doesn't matter and everything about them does. They don't listen to you, and in fact they seem the least bit interested in anything about you. What they are doing is stealing your emotional and psychic energy, leaving you feel depleted of your resources. There are times when they will appear to be nice and even thoughtful. They may even bestow their time and energy and resources for you. Energy vampires, however, are always scheming to make a deal in their favor and set you up to fall and to fail. I knew firsthand what it's like to be around someone who sucked my energy from me and my soul, and I'm sure you must as well, since you're reading or listening to this. Have you ever felt like you're unimportant, insignificant, and that you don't exist? Do you feel like you've been positioned so that someone else can gain from taking away all of your energy and your resources and even your soul? I'm going to explain to you how this happened to me, why it happened, and how to stop it from ever happening again. Working on why you have attachments to energy vampires gives you a strong sense of who you are, so you never get caught up in these relationships again. How do you know that they're sucking your soul? How do you know that someone is sucking your very soul from you? That is how you know. First, you feel it. It feels like your energy is being depleted, drained from you, and you end up feeling exhausted when you're around them. But with narcissists, everything is about them, and it feels like they could care less about what you say or think or do. It feels like they're not listening to you because they in fact aren't. It feels like they're not the least bit interested in you as a person again because they aren't. They could care less about what's going on with you or your life, only if it somehow helps them. The thing is, soul-sucking energy can be insidious and ugly. Narcissists are always after narcissistic supply, which means your emotional and psychic energy. They're after your soul, which you can feel, and they want all your resources. At times I felt like my narcissistic partner seemed considerate, even nice. He would grant me energy, time, and resources, but what you need to understand with an energy-sucking vampire is they're manipulating a deal in their favor while they're setting you up for failure and for you to fall. It's about stealing your energy, your things, and you. It's about what the narcissist wants, and it's based on their agenda, because narcissists are parasitic entities. They don't have a true meaning. They don't have a true self. They don't function. They don't have a functioning soul. Their inner being is like a dark hole that doesn't produce its own resources and energy, so they have to keep feeding on others. They can't sustain their energy and require a constant narcissistic supply to get their energy from. If they do not have a supply, they will feel like they're going to self-destruct. It means that if you're regularly around an energy vampire, you're going to get drained out to your own detriment and to your own doom. It makes you very, very ill, and it makes you unable to draw on and save your energy force, and you're going to feel depressed and broken. So how do you identify if you are the soul sucker's next meal? How do you identify what's going on here? Excuse me. Why do I feel sorts around this person? And how do you know when you're around someone who's sucking the life out of you? I felt exhausted and miserable. How can you be aware when it's happening? Well, you need to be conscious of your own energy. It's very important. Are you able to be around yourself around this person? Are you able to be heard? Do you feel like you're having an exchange of energy rather than them sucking and taking your energy down? So you are on the phone with someone, for example, one of your friends, and you start to feel drained and exhausted. This is because they're taking your energy. The entire conversation is about them. And sometimes this happens, but not every time. You're offering them suggestions on what may help. They're not making their own energy. They have to suck it out of you. Do you feel out of sorts, off, or anxious around someone in particular? I would feel unhappy and exhausted around my ex-partner. He was definitely messing with my energy. Looking back at this, I felt I could always hold my own and have clear boundaries, but he was the master of manipulation and control. You may feel taken for granted, used, taken advantage of, violated around some people, and I certainly did with my narcissistic partner. You feel like your energy is being sucked literally out of you, and you're handing your energy over to them. He would start a conversation and it would be going well unless I disagreed or stopped looking right at him. I would then start to see this underlying rage, yet he would never raise his voice. He would throw out some veiled criticism about me, which was hard to pick up unless you had been involved in these dreadful altercations as many times as I had. I could feel my energy being taken by him. I learned to walk around after a time, but this took many years. It was like I was locked in this state of energy tug of war with him. So how do you know you? How do you stop your soul from being sucked dry? As hard as this is to hear, this is only going to happen if you allow it. It's fine to help out your friends, but it should not be about them all the time. It is up to you to stop them from draining the energy out of you. I learned it was up to me to stop this soul sucking with my partner. In most of these exchanges with him, I did feel exhausted after the exchange. Then when I talked to a friend later, which always seemed to be about them, I began to realize I needed to stop this unhealthy draining of my energy. We have to stop expecting people to treat us with respect if we're not respecting ourselves. So how do we stop this from happening? How do we have healthy exchanges with people? By showing up for ourselves and knowing our truth and our values will allow you to set your boundaries. It's all about working on ourselves and doing the inner work. As adults, we need to realize that we have the responsibility for our needs and our own boundaries. This means we don't go along with what others want, and we don't let them set our energy or let them take us for granted, giving them what they want, even if we don't want it. I would go along with his terrible behavior to keep the peace because I was afraid of his rage, and if I spoke up, it was impossible to set a boundary with him. It could also be because we don't want to be criticized, rejected, punished, or abandoned for being true to our values. So leaving the abusive relationship and starting a new life with a genuine and true person means that you have to be willing to let go of people, because if you don't, you're going to let go of yourself. Narcissists will literally take all of your energy and anything else you have to offer. It will not stop unless you stop it or run out of what they require for their narcissistic supply. You might find this pattern in relationship with others, but not to the same degree as a narcissist. And then you're going to continue having the patterns of people in your life that take your energy. This is the call to your evolution and to your highest self, because it has come to your relationships. If you come to your relationship, it's an authentic self, knowing what you need and want from people. You are teaching people actually how to treat you. If people are not listening to you, a lot of the time you can begin to speak up and tell them lovingly without justifying yourself that you would appreciate it if they could hear what you have to say, that you have the right to your opinion. Just sit back and see what comes back for you. This works for most people, but it did not work with my ex-malignant narcissistic partner. In some cases, people are just passionate, or maybe they have some narcissistic traits, and they do not have a narcissistic personality disorder, or worse, this combined with an antisocial personality disorder. But by speaking up and being honest, you're going to discover the truth about this person, because how they'll show up at their next is going to show you what you need to know. Genuine people are appreciative that you're being honest with them and allow them to have a more fulfilling relationship with you. Good people want to know, they want to expand, and they're thankful. It's going to create a trustworthy, healthy relationship. Narcissists and human parasitic vampires are not going to appreciate it at all. You're going to see them twist and carry on along with stepping all over boundaries and feelings. They're going to blame it on you, and they're going to smear you to others. You've got your answer. You know that this isn't a person with the capacity to meet you with a level of energy exchange. It's now up to you to decide if you want any relationship with them knowing this. I found out after trying to call out, figure him out, and internalize it all with my ex-partner that it wouldn't work, and I had to leave the relationship or lose me. The only person you can work on is you, and show up as yourself in the integrity, in your own integrity and your honesty. Then nobody will steal your energy because you're not going to allow it. If you don't do this, we will continue to let people suck our energy. We may be observing it and get upset about it, but we are not showing up. This means you're not growing, you're missing the opportunities to be assertive and the ability to be narcissistic proof. This gives genuine people in your life the opportunity to stand up and meet you at a higher level of relationship. It always comes back to you. Narcissists and energy vampires are what they are, but what is important is who we are. It's about healing and working on you, which automatically raises your consciousness. The soul suckers are not on this higher level of consciousness, and when you raise your awareness and consciousness, you will find these lower vibrational people stop showing up. You can turn yourself and your life around by going within and healing from your past trauma and fractured beliefs, and it works. Healing from within will change you and your life completely. So it's about raising your consciousness and becoming a powerful being in your own body. Then you're going to be amazed at how easily you can flush out toxic people who are trying to suck your life soul. You're going to start aligning with and creating a life and relationships with people who will nurture you, bringing you joy and truth fulfillment. So please consider contacting me, even if it is to see if you're ready to heal from your past pain and trauma. There are plenty of free resources here on the website, and there will come a time when you say enough. I'm ready to let go of what has been holding me back and coming out in many ways in your life. I hope this has helped you and given you a direction and the courage to know that you can heal yourself from energy vampires. It's simple when you know how and what to do. I look forward to hearing from you. Know that you can heal. I certainly have, and I'm not the same person that I used to be, either before I met my narcissistic abusive partner or during. Take care and much love to you.